Live. Today is Monday, August 20th. We don't have a theme song, and I think maybe that's a huge mistake.
Yeah.
For a long time, and we did have a long chat in a Twitter DM group about how awful a person he may or may not be, but I've always had a special place in my heart for Adrian Peterson. And as a Vikings fan, it was great watching him do what he did, get hurt, come back, and then do what he did. But man, what a baffling move as he is signed by the Redskins today. And I guess they don't have some bell cow running back, but I mean, as far as maybe try to find someone a little younger, that's kind of a puzzling move to me. Look, we just looked up the depth chart. You had Chris Thompson, R. Kelly, Samaruja P. Ryan, and then a bunch of a couple other camp bodies. So I would think it's probably gonna. And I guess P. Ryan did it. He bungled up his ankle a little. I think last week. I don't know how serious that was. And, that obviously that's going to play into it. But boy, Adrian Peterson did not look good in New Orleans. He didn't look good in Arizona.
He had one good game.
Yeah, he had one good game. He's back.
He gutted the Bucks, right? Was it the Bucks?
Yep.
He scored.
Yep.
That was it though.
And he has never been a good pass catcher. You need a pass catching running back to have any sort of success in today's NFL. I don't think it's going to work out, but I don't know. Maybe they sell some tickets. And also, he needs I'm sure he's hunting for a job. He needs 37 yards to become a top 10 all time rusher. So they'll make a big deal out of that once he does hit that.
Do you think he's paying the Redskins?
What's that?
Do you think he's paying the Redskins?
that would be some. No, dude. That guy has 10 kids. His child support's up there. He doesn't have he has a crop of children.
Yes.
Whole fantasy league worth. So.
Yes. Yeah, he is very prolific in the rushing game.
Yeah, hitting that hole. Yeah, deep penetration.
Deep penetration. Do you think? So, did you adjust your Redskins win total accordingly?
Oh.
This is a bizarre move, man. This is so weird. I'll say this.
You talking about the possible trading of Darnold? I saw that floating around.
Well, real quick on Adrian Peterson. I don't get what the Redskins are doing. I don't know why you would do this. They have a problem of rushing it too often on first down anyway. You got a guy in Alex Smith who, you're going to have to get him into a rhythm with his receiving core. I don't know what you're doing bringing Peterson into this team at this point. And just because you lost your rookie guys, the idea that you could plug Peterson in and get that kind of production is laughable. I would have waited at least until after week 1, so you don't have to sign him to you don't end up guaranteeing his contract by accident. With the vets, there's ways you can more effectively maneuver your cap.
I don't think people are clamoring for him. I mean, it did hurt.
No.
It did hurt to lose guys. You didn't. I mean, you didn't know what you were going to get with him, but it was hopefully going to be something good. He's looking like he could have been a good back, but it's not.
No,
I don't think it's plus EV move for the Redskins at this point.
Bizarre move that, if anything, kind of indicates that their brain trust, people who are making football decisions there, don't know what they're doing. And you should be critically evaluating the guys on your roster, not signing Adrian Peterson right now. Overall, I thought week 2 of the preseason was a bust, man. I didn't really learn anything. I thought I was coming into it like, okay, there's going to be some interesting games to watch. I want to see how some of these coaches approach, their matchups. So we'll learn something about. No, we learned virtually nothing. It was a less informative week, I felt like, even than week 1, which is tough because usually week 1 is totally meaningless. I was scrounging up for interesting topics, even though we had 15 games in the last 3 days, and there's really nothing interesting to talk about. The one thing that I am interested in is where did Teddy Bridgewater find a home? What are you a Teddy Bridgewater guy?
Again, another former Viking. I loved him. He almost died on the field. Shout out certified personal trainer Eric Sugarman for saving lives. That was very that shit was sketchy. Like you almost what's the vein in your leg? The artery in your vein?
Yeah,
Femoral.
the femoral. Yes,
The
yes.
femoral was like hanging on by a thread. And he was losing blood, and shit was gross. Like
People
he
were
almost
throwing
like
up. Yeah.
yeah, people were like, it wasn't like he almost lost his leg. Like he could have died
Did you ever
from
get
a
confirmation of who threw up?
non-contact injury.
Do we know who it was that threw up on the field? Because somebody did. It wasn't like guys were gagging. I think there was actual
It was
vomit
probably
on the
Chad
field.
Greenway. He was a bitch.
That's a good. Yeah, that's
Iowa.
fair. That's fair.
So
Yeah, but I was buying Teddy Bridgewater stock pre-injury for sure.
he's a
And
starter. He's a starting quarterback in the NFL. He has what it takes to start
great point.
over.
Great
Some of the
point.
guys that are on rosters currently, he's certainly better than almost any backup. So you'd be well to do to make a move if you did need to make a move at quarterback, such as possibly the Giants or the
Oh, that's my favorite spot.
Jaguars.
Yeah, you put Teddy Bridgewater together with Pat Shurmur. Let Eli Manning flail around behind a still questionable offensive line for the first couple weeks, and then pull the switcheroo. I think the Giants. My ceiling for the Giants goes up instantly if they sign Teddy Bridgewater. How crazy is that? I don't know that there's any other team that my perception of their chances for this season changes if making a trade for Teddy, except for the Giants. I think the Giants need a quarterback badly. I think Eli Manning is absolutely done for. I haven't seen anything from what we've seen limited action from him this year to show that kind of the moves they made in the offseason, the new offensive, approach they brought in has kind of reinvigorated him. I think we've seen that from Flacco. We're going to see more of Flacco tonight against the terrible defense in the Colts. So kind of curious to see if Flacco still kind of is showing this newfound fire that came along with drafting a guy to replace him. We're not seeing that with Eli Manning. He does not look invigorated by the offseason moves. He looks done. And I would love to see Teddy Bridgewater still play in New York, but for the blue instead of the green. That'd be cool, man.
I think that would be a good move for all parties involved, especially if the Jets could pick up possibly. I mean, what are the Jets looking for?
I would, probably a fourth rounder. I think a
Yeah,
fourth round pick gets the trade done, honestly.
I
Although,
wouldn't
you
even
know
think it
what?
wouldn't need to be players.
Oh, the Giants blew it. They used that supplemental pick, and the guy's on IR.
That was the third. They lost their third round.
Rounder, yeah. So now you're saying, okay, next year you're not going to have a third rounder or a fourth rounder.
So far, so good,
about it.
gentlemen.
Yeah. Dave Gettleman, A+ general manager job so far. I think people have been clamoring for send him to the Jags, blah blah blah, the Jags. First of all, I'm going to die by the Blake Bortles progressed more than you think he did last year. He hasn't looked great. He hasn't looked great. There are so many gifts out there of terrible plays he had last season. I know they're all there. You don't need to send them to me. I've seen them all. He had some moments last year that were a nightmare, including in the playoffs against the Buffalo Bills. But I still think he has progressed more. His confidence is very fragile, though. And we know that there's an element of not having drafted a guy like Lamar Jackson. We think, you can probably tie it to they didn't want to shatter his confidence. And that was probably smart. And they're not going to bring in a guy like Teddy Bridgewater for the same reason. So don't hold your breath that the Jags are going to make a move for Teddy Bridgewater. Especially doing that in training camp would be just a horrific, kind of momentum deal for your development of Blake Bortles. So we'll see if Bortles ends up being the reason that the Jags, waste a year of their defensive prime, or if he actually has shown some growth. We'll see. But it's going to be fascinating to see where Teddy Bridgewater ends up, because there's lots of places he would be great, and he would be better. Like you said, he'd be better than almost every single backup in the league. Yet you bring him onto your squad and you instantly start to challenge chemistry and put question marks in the mind of the starter because he's that good. So what do you do? Fascinating.
Let's talk about the week. What's on the docket? All the previews are up. We've still got a couple weeks for football. Well, it's fantasy. It's fantasy draft time, and we don't touch on fantasy much. It's not a big part of what we do, but I'm in a few leagues. I'm still hanging on in the leagues I've played in for forever and a day. I still play in my hometown league. So
Do you
everybody,
have a draft coming up this week?
we're gonna do it Sunday when I get back from Vegas, and then I have
Nice.
another one on Labor Day, and yeah, I have 2 or 3 leagues I'm gonna play in. Everybody does it, so we are gonna bring in a surprise fantasy guest. I'm not even gonna tell you who, and it's gonna be awesome. And that'll be later this week. It'll be coming out, and then also watch out for helping out with Jay Creer do his college game day. Those are some really good college previews. We should have it at least one more of those up here early this week. And as always, check us out on Twitter. Follow us here. Ask us questions. Hang out. Watch football.
Yeah, we're gonna have some good blogs up this week too, and yeah, it's gonna be a big week. Football's so close we can taste it.
Almost so. Well,
so close you can taste it.
Until we meet tomorrow.
Have a wonderful start to your week, my friend.